Hi, and welcome to a boundary enforcement addendum to my series of rants on annoying cop-outs that really grate on me that I've made in rapid succession as to get it over with as soon as possible. I will not tolerate anyone posting comments nor making any responses to me, whether it be commentaries, parodies, rants, or streams, using any of the 14 cop-out arguments and all their variations that I've addressed moving forward, since it gets us nowhere and only hurts me. However, someone going by the YouTube username of the Absolute Degenerate used such cop-outs like it's in the past and let it go anyway in open defiance of my boundaries set by my annoying cop-out series in his November 13th, 2022 Bad Faith stream, in which he disingenuously called me a petty loser in the title. I blocked both the Absolute Degenerate's YouTube accounts along with his Twitter account to enforce my ban on him responding to me, since him posting another response video to me would be block evasion, which is another form of harassment. My block policy against Confused Matthew apologist drama and excuses is what is best for me and a form of basic self-care meant to protect my mental health. So even critiquing that block policy is a form of bullying, since it's simply demanding the quote-unquote right to violate my boundaries when I say no. When someone like me blocks you out of self-care or to prevent further drama like I did, you need to shut up and leave them alone instead of making battering ram responses, as in block evading videos, to force whatever it is they blocked you for down their throat. The only reason I'm talking about DarkMasterrises now, DarkMaster465 alt now, despite him no longer making any nor having any videos, period, is because it was only since last week, as of this recording, that I finally learned that he was the real cause of dogpiling me out of college, not Evil Broseph as I previously suspected. That's also the reason I deleted my videos to Illinois Guy 34 and to Beastly Evie, since they no longer serve any more purpose for me in light of this new information. The defense and excusal of Confused Matthew's toxic anti-Simba behaviors as being long ago just an opinion, or analogies or jokes, is a serious trigger for me that causes me intense emotional pain and even trauma. Thus, defending this misguided Simba's an asshole opinion against me is permanently banned from any platform on my accounts or to respond to me, and anyone who has participated in Confused Matthew excusal and apologist drama at any time is forever banned from talking about or responding to me, no exceptions. This harsh boundary is absolutely necessary as to protect my mental health and to help me truly move forward and put this nightmare behind me, now that I finally know the truth about who the fall 2013 perpetrator was after so many years of suspecting the wrong guy. I would have let go of the whole Confused Matthew thing had DarkMasterrises behaved himself instead of telling Evil Broseph and the commentary committee to harass and dogpile me with his pissy demands to respect Confused Matthew's opinion on The Lion King like he did, and I would have been in a university by now instead of a college dropout. All the more reason for my Confused Matthew apologist ban, especially since my critics chose to copy that same arrogant, smug, and cruel responses to responses approach of always having to have the last word against legit criticism that angered me about Confused Matthew in the first place. I had some online detractors who were not at all part of this Confused Matthew apologist nightmare, such as a StarDestroyer.net like Rabid Warzy, known as LegoGeek94, who bugged me in 2014 with his bad apple Star Wars fandom and Christian homophobia. However, LegoGeek94 acted in a fairly isolated case against me and never ever, not even once, tried to sneak in any shred of the same old pro-Confused Matthew drama that injured me. Therefore, he had no aftermath or lasting effect on me, and I long since let go of my feud with LegoGeek94, since he didn't cause me any mental trauma whatsoever. My Confused Matthew apologist critics excuse Confused Matthew's track record against Simba as things like a running joke and making an analysis, despite the myriad of complaints I've seen from plenty of other people about Confused Matthew singling out The Lion King and how he brought it up far more than any other single movie that he hated, even for stupid reasons. Please don't take my word for it, because the fact that plenty of people who knew more about Confused Matthew than I did were making complaints about his obsessive vendetta against The Lion King, and is obviously a giant red flag that shouldn't have been dismissed just to push a narrative against anyone. My critics have been ultimately trying to gaslight me into doubting such observations, which they downplay to the hilt just to silence me about this topic for their own comfort, and this has been counterproductive by worsening and prolonging the problem and causing it to fester for years. My critics' impulse to keep tormenting me with Confused Matthew apologetics whenever I talked about why I was unhappy with that topic was the real unhealthy outlook here, since I didn't want to have to talk or even think about it for so long like I have. So you want me to move on? Then stay out of my way to let me have my say and leave it behind unimpeded by any excuse-laden flack, since vehemently defending the cause of my upset is the worst thing you can do on this matter, since it will only prolong and worsen the very problem. One thing I can't stand is people spreading hateful disinformation and vehemently defending it, and I'll even reject any hateful disinformation that is solely made against something I don't like. I'm planning to leave this drama behind me for unrelated topics, so please don't make any more videos about me that push this narrative against me regarding the Confused Matthew problem, nor use unrelated topics I talk about as cover to smuggle in more of the same Confused Matthew apologist excuses like DarkMasterrises had Evil Broseph do in 2013. You can't just keep doing something that the other person says is hurting them or at the root of their problem and then tell them to let it go, since that's just like stabbing someone and telling them to stop bleeding. This video has been quite long for an annoying cop-outs rant, since I wanted to close off by stating a crystal clear boundary for moving forward and to finally put this nightmare behind me. So ultimately, my annoying cop-out series is meant to dissuade people from using worn-out anti-criticism phrases when confronted with mine or anyone else's real criticism that they don't like. And no, I don't want anyone using any of the 14 types of anti-criticism retorts in any of their various forms to argue with me on unrelated topics I want to move on to, since it won't fly there either, nor on any discussion or debate for that matter. The first person who drops the opinion shield or says any variation of things like, it's just a joke, it's in the past, or get over it, loses the debate every single time, often ending the discussion before it even begins. This concludes my annoying cop-outs mini-series, which will serve as a body of information on why I won't accept various discussion stoppers being used against me, or anyone else for that matter, and what I covered in this series is perhaps just a tip of the iceberg on why you should never ever use such lousy retorts at all.